Let's talk about AI and grief. Yeah, I had no idea that they had anything to do with each other. I realized that there are websites out there now and even apps that can act as a support system while you're in grief. Some of them are very basic and others are quite controversial. So I thought maybe we could talk about that today and see if this is something you might want to try, or maybe you've already tried, and get your opinion on these things. So when you wake up in the middle of the night, there's nobody to talk to. You may reach out to your loved one in your mind, or you may say something out loud and speak to them. That is human nature. That's really okay. It's very important to know that what we're going to talk about now with AI is that there is no good or bad, right or wrong. It's about what comforts you. And I want to make sure you know about these options and that they're available to you. So one of the options is, you know what, I wrote them down so that I would get it right. And I'll put the web addresses in the description as well. So there's some websites, like one's called Replika, replika.com. And this is a very basic chatbot that gives you can choose an avatar so that you feel like you're talking to something other than just text, a chatbot. I'm not sure. I tried it and it really wasn't my style because I'm not into the avatar look, but you might be. So there is a free version. So when you try it, it'll try to get you to buy something, but you can just close that window and you can use the free version just to give it a shot. What happened to me was I named my person Sally because that was my imaginary friend when I was a kid. Anyway, so the first question I asked Sally was, hey, are you comfortable talking about grief with me? And her response was, hey, Sally's a really great name. What made you choose that? I thought, okay, well, I wrote back and said, no, I want to talk to you about grief. And I stumped it and it never was able to respond. So hope you have better luck with that one. There are a couple of others that work very similarly. One, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's WYSA.com, and one called Wobot.com. You can try them all and see what you think. So what are the upsides to using AI when you're feeling grief? You're not going to be judged. There's no judgment. Basically, you're going to say how you feel or ask a question, and you'll get a response. And you know there's no judgment coming from AI as well. The other advantage is if you have a difficult time talking about it, which I do, this may be a good avenue for you because it's very private. There's no one else that's going to know what you're asking. Okay, maybe some frustration with the systems, but just be prepared for that. The other thing that's good about using AI is that you can feel like the energy is leaving you, that it's getting expressed. Now, the one thing that's not happening with AI is it's not being witnessed by a human with a heart. You're not getting that energetic exchange of someone saying, I hear you, I see you, but you are able to get out what you're thinking. So just depends on where you're at and what's appropriate for you. So let's travel down the road of AI a little bit further. And there is a company that called Storyfile.com. Storyfile.com is more where you can record yourself while you're alive answering questions. So you're fed questions and then you answer them. And then once you're gone, the idea is that your family can see these or your loved ones. And also it claims that it can interact with the person. So if they say, hey, tell me about your childhood, and you will be able to be speaking and that person, your loved one, will be able to see you. So that's kind of cool. I belong to a memoir website called Storyworth.com where it asks me questions and I write out my story. So in some ways, this might be a little similar, except for my stories will never interact back with my loved ones. Taking this a little bit further, and I'm not quite sure how this works. It's called the number 2, WAI, unmet.ai. Again, I'll put these in the description so you don't have to remember it. So basically, there's a whole bunch of avatars on this website. Actually, it's an app that you download. And you can have a chef, you can have a personal trainer, but you can also create an avatar of your loved one. And the concept, and I don't know how it translates when it's actually done, because I did not try this one, I wasn't comfortable, is that this avatar can learn from videos of your loved one, audio clips, photos, anything that you have of your deceased or missing or lost loved one. So I guess you get to feel like you're interacting. That feels a little odd to me, although my mom passed away 20 years ago, and I guess maybe I would find it comforting if I could see her eyes looking at me. I'm not sure. So my opinion on this one, I don't have one. So if you try it, please let me know. Right now it's in a beta test, so the app is free. But with time, there'll be charges to be able to be a monthly subscription. So the question is, with these apps, is it comforting or is it keeping you stuck, right? You can't do grief wrong. Your brain was designed to protect you. So you can find yourself in a repetitive, what feels like stuck time in the grief process. If this happens, then maybe this would help you. But if you find that it keeps you ruminating in this one spot, and you'll know when you're stuck, you'll feel it. You'll feel like you'll feel trapped. That's the time I would recommend reaching out to a therapist, a coach, someone who can offer you that human heart and give you that direction. I'm anxious to see what you think about all this, and please share it with me. You can email me privately if you prefer, or share thoughts with all of us so that we can learn from each other as we come into this technology age. And this AI is not about loving tech. It's about loving your person who's gone. It's about love. That is what would drive a person to use this type of technology, not a love of technology. All right. Take great care of yourself.